Speaking of live, let's talk about SNL a little bit.
Yeah.
1977, Bill, that's when you hosted for the first time. Am I right?
Maybe the end of 76, but basically,
76.
Yeah. Something
and then
like that.
almost 40 years later, you enter
Yes.
SNL. Can you talk a little bit about what it meant to you guys being part of SNL early on for you and then for you, Pete?
Well, why don't I start and then you can correct me? Well, it was I was friends with a bunch of those people already, so it was like a continuation of what we've been doing, coming out of the Second City and then working at National Lampoon in New York and then into Saturday Night Live. So it was sort of a highway that people were on, and it was sort of the next step. However, that next step was an explosion of notoriety where, we did a live show I did a show and a half in New York. And then we took a long break before we did a Mardi Gras show from New Orleans. And we spent a month in New Orleans. You talk about fun.
I heard about that.
That was really fun. We went to New Orleans for a month to do a TV show of 90 minutes. So it was really a lot of fun to be there. And my friend Tom Schiller, who was a writer on the show, said, "Bill, these are the last days of anonymity. Let's enjoy this. You should enjoy this as much as you can." And I could go around New Orleans and nobody knew who the hell I was, and I could have so much fun. And then 1 year later, the same thing wasn't possible because the show was so explosive and everyone watched it. The ratings of I just learned this week that the ratings of those first few years were higher than any ratings ever.
Oh, yeah.
There was one great year later in the 80s, but those were the big years. And that everybody in America watched that show. Mm-hmm. Everybody was watching it. So
it changed your life?
It changed my life, yeah. Changed your life. And you get, all of a sudden you go from being, you're kind of pleased to have money to pay your rent and that kind of thing and be, that kind of moderately successful. But then you're famous and then everything becomes slightly destabilized and you act I could get into the whole fame discussion a little bit, but maybe you'll bring that up. But it's like you have a couple of years to figure out what that means, and how to behave in it, and everyone acts like a jerk. Everyone that gets famous acts like a jerk.
Yeah.
So I give everybody 2 years to figure it out. And if you can't figure it out in 2 years, then
I just have my 2 years.
Yeah.
Then you have your humiliating ego death, and then you have that moment alone, and you make those calls. Hey man, really sorry, I didn't know how to deal with any of that stuff. I just went through that.